to another video, aka continuing after the last video. Basically, I was talking about how Warframe is basically what Trove wanted to have been in a blockier version, but sadly couldn't, because of limitations to an old engine and the fear of really putting some time into development. And basically, it's purchasable options.
Hey, Tenno, you ready for today's deal? Oh, I mean deal. Today's deal.
I will choose Affinity Booster. Okay. Wow, I forgot how good this looks compared to the Switch. Holy hell. Okay. Give me like a second. Okay. So, the difference between this and Trove are somewhat not too bad of a difference. But if you throw it all down, Warframe is the better option, especially during combat and all that jazz. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the beginning of when you start the game. And I have pretty much all the Warframes to talk about it. Alright, so starting off on Trove, you get to pick what is now your starter classes. And there is, I think, 5. You get to pick, like, Boomeranger, the Ninja, I think, don't quote on me, but for those who are new to the Trove, you'll know what I'm talking about. I can't remember what the hell you start off with now, because when I did it, the game was different. Warframe, when you start off, you get to choose between 3 classes. You get to choose between okay. You get to choose between Excalibur, which, give me a second. I'm pretty much putting him right back to the beginning state. Okay, so this is Excalibur. You start off with either Excalibur, Mag, which I have the Prime version, so give me a Oh, I really, if had I known I was planning to do this, I totally would have just, you know, actually did something. Start off with either Excalibur, Mag, which honestly, in my opinion, is the worst choice. But it depends on what you know about the mods in this game. Or Volt. Why does it keep... Okay. Or Volt. He don't look that cool. He looks like this. Minus those shoulder things. Apparently those are separate things to get rid of. But that's basically what they look like. And depending on who you choose is how you're going to work with the game. So Excalibur basically is the all-up front character to work with. I'm going to go ahead and put Excalibur Umbra on, because you can get this character easy peasy later on in the game from doing quests. I'm going to go ahead and put him on. And I'm just going to show you really what the difference is. We'll go solo. We will do a quick little mission of capture. Capture is very easy. My god, you look fancy. Thank you, Dark Moon. Like I said, 3 to 4 years of this game has been planted into what you're seeing now, so... Because this was basically my first PlayStation 4 game. I'm going to go ahead and change the...
You are here to find our target and bring them to the extraction point.
The audio
Happy hunting.
settings. There. That should be much better.
The Grenier deteriorate over time.
Okay.
Is that what makes them violent?
So, when you start the game up, you will... You'll start off with Excalibur, you'll do a few tasks and all that, and then as you progress through the game, it will tutorialize you how to play the game. Basically, you'll pick your first melee weapon, you'll pick your first primary gun, and you'll pick your first secondary gun. Obviously, this is not what you're going to start off with. This is totally a different thing. But that's basically how you start off with. With Trove, you immediately start just getting loot. Hat, face, and your weapon, or whoever you picked. And that's all fine and dandy. But the difference between the weapons in that game compared to Warframe is after 3 whole years of playing this game, you can still be a badass with the very first weapons you choose in the game. I've had people say that they have literally started off with the MK1 Brayton, the Skana, and the Lado. And they could still play with a very original Excalibur and those very original weapons and still be technically an A1 badass. Whereas Trove, you quickly have to replace all the gear that you've collected. You have to keep replacing it over and over again until you hit the max quality.
Bring them in.
And in my opinion, I'd much prefer the Warframe style of weaponry, where you could literally start off what you have and continue playing with what you have, and just continuously slashing your way through enemies. Now granted, there's a lot of people that apparently don't like how easy games could be, and after a while of playing this game, you'll find out it's pretty easy. But then again, you have to also count as the progression through the game, which I will talk about here in a minute. Why is Lotus purple? What happened? A very huge spoiler happened, and I'm not going to mention it. Basically, you just got to go through the story that they have been adapting to now, and then you'll see what happens to her. I'm just trying to finish this mission real quick, and then I'll continue with what I'm saying. Okay. So, that was just one mission. Now granted, in its earlier forms, Warframe was lacking in missions because pretty much what the deal of it was is you just keep going into these missions on planets, and they would mostly look like the same thing. There was no open world, free realm area where it was in Trove, where Trove had an open world-ish type area. Although it was still limited, it was much bigger than what Warframe was. But now, if we look at the games at this point, Warframe actually does have an open world area, as it is restricted the same as Trove's stuff is. Did I ever have anything in the foundry being crafted? No, I did not, because I didn't need anything to be built, I don't think. Okay. I like Warframe, I just don't know what to do in it. Well, I could technically turn this video into that kind of video too. If you have questions, you can ask, and then I can answer it for you. I just realized I could actually turn this Excalibur into regular Excalibur, if I'm correct. Yeah. Right into regular Excal. There. The only difference is he has a cloak. Now let's see if I have a different... Let's see if I have the Skana. I'm pretty sure I still have the Skana. I gotta have the Skana. Some kind of Skana. Do I really not? Oh, I got the Prisma Skana. I could work with that. That's gonna basically end up being the same thing, technically. Only difference is it's Prisma, and I think it does have some difference of equipment, but yeah. Now, another good thing about these weapons, and why they're so much different than Trove. Trove's weapons and armor comes with a total of 2 to 3 stats. You have to use a pearl to get the 4th one. Whereas in this one, you make your own stats on the damn thing. So say, Prismascana, you can read the stats right now. Impact 22, puncture 22, slash 319. Clearly, it's more of a slash weapon, which is obvious. There's 3 types of weapons in this game. There's impact, puncture, and slash. You want to choose whatever you want. It's your choice, basically, because you can kick ass with all the races of enemies that you're fighting with whatever. So let's look at the Prismascana. Now, before in the game, there was no stances. There was no stance mods for any of this. It was all on its own. You basically just put mods on here. What mods do in the game is they basically just increase whatever the hell it says. So like this does 120% more melee damage. So clearly you put that on and your melee damage would change. Actually, let's go ahead and remove all of this and I could show you all what I mean. Okay. So Prismascana right now as it is has a base damage of 24.5. Now when you see a number higher than the other 3, that means that it's going to require slash more than it is requiring impact or puncture. So you would want any mod that would say 100 and blank, or just percentage amount slash damage. So you put that on. And now it has changed from 24 to 53. Now, say that's the only one you got, but you have this mod, which is very common. You'd want to put that on. And it actually does way more impact than it would on Slash, because it's 120% melee damage in general. So now you have 118 damage. That's wonderful for when you're starting off. And now stance mods, what they do is basically they give you a different animation of fighting. So like Crimson Dervish, we'll put that on. Because I had another one. I had one that I might actually go buy on the Switch version because I forgot about it. Swooping Falcon. And of course, if you have no idea what the hell you're looking at right here, you can pick a sort. Like, say you don't know what stance mods you have, go to stance mods, and you can see what you have. If you want to figure out what you have for the Matarai slots, which, you know, would fit in these, you would check it out, and it will show you all the mods that you currently have that has the Matarai stance. Now, for those who don't know what these little icons mean, basically, you don't really need to care about what the names are, Matarai, Vazarin, Naramon, or Zenuric, or Unaru. You don't really have to pay attention to any of those. Basically, what you have to know is, say you have a V slot right here, and you put Crimson Dervish on. Basically, what that's going to do, for stance mods anyway, is it's going to give you plus 10 capacity to your mod spot, your mod space. And that's basically what that does. Whereas if you see it down here, it will half your space required. So say I put Fury on, it takes 9. But if I put it right on a Matarai slot, if I'm correct, it only requires 4 spaces. So it will only take 4. Okay, so hold on. I accidentally went to configuration A, or B when I need to go to B, when I need to say A. So, okay. Did I? Oh, I just removed all. Okay. So let's put that stance back on. So I'll go here, put Crimson Dervish back on. Crimson Dervish, by the way, I recommend. It's a whirlwind type attack, but it's also very cheap apparently, and it's a really good stance in my opinion. This used to be worth a lot, and I guess a lot of farmers managed to break that economy. Okay. So knowing I would want Slash, I'm obviously going to put the very first few basic mods on. I'm going to put Pressure Point on. And then I'm not going to put Basic Fury because I have this Prime Fury, which you get, I think, after 200 days of logging in. And all that does will increase your attack speed, and that's going to be very nice compared to a 30%, you get a 55% because of this mod. Okay. Now we want to focus on slash. So clearly, we would go to something like... Oh wait, hold up. I just completely remembered I was on that one. Something like Buzzkill, where it's 120% slash. We'd put that on. Jagged Edge has 90% slash, so you'd put that on. And the only other mod that has slash other than Rending Strike. Actually, no. I think that's it. I think that's it. Rending Strike is the last one, but that also gives you puncture. So you would want to put that on a weapon that can do both puncture and slash. But if you just want the extra damage, then by all means, put it on. You have 199 damage now. Now you can get different mods that will also have a negative and a plus to it. So this one does 100% more damage, but it's minus 20% attack speed. Now, I don't recommend this if you just have basic Fury, unless you can handle how slow the weapon will be. Because Fury only does 20% or 30%, and then this will obviously take more than half of it off, so you only have a 10% increase. But if you have Prime Fury, you'll still basically have the aspects of a normal Fury. So now it goes to 290%. Or 290 more damage. And then for the last two things, I recommend like adding elements to it. So if you just want a poison build, you can just put a poison mod on it. And there's different ones. Don't pay attention to like Voltaic Strike or Volcanic Edge. You can also just get Shocking Touch. These are the most common ones. Molten Impact, Fever Strike, and then North Wind. These all do way more elemental damage compared to those ones. But these ones I recommend you either buy or you could find somewhere. I can't remember exactly where you get these anymore. I remember they were originally eventful, like event-wise, but apparently you can get like Volcanic Edge, Voltaic Strike, and all these in like different events or different missions. Excuse me. Damn, I cannot talk right now. But basically, I don't really want Rending Strike on here. I want to go ahead and put all elements. And what you can also do with these elements is you can combine them. So say I put electricity plus ice, it would now be a magnetic build. Now 100% I actually do not know what magnetic could do. I think it can have a chance to take away your enemy's shield. And I think that's about it. All I really know is I much prefer Voltaic Strike. And I think it's this one. No, not this one. Corrosive. Corrosive, I've been hearing a lot of that. It does a lot of damage compared to like heavy armored. Oh, yeah, it says right here. Combined cold and electricity, very effective against shields. I don't know if it'll say it to everything else. But yeah, corrosive I heard was like the best one. Now see, that is way more detailed, but also way more effective than any weapon in Trove. Because Trove, all you literally do is you see 4 stats after you put a pearl on it, and you want to try to get the best one out of the bottom 2, and that's about it. But the problem is, if you're stuck with the second stat, you have to go try to find a better weapon. With this one, really it's just all what you put on. And you don't even have to be a pro to put these on. You just got to read it and see if you like it, and if you like it, you put that mod on the weapon. See how it affects your gameplay. Okay, I was just reading what that said. And the same is for everything else. You can do the same with Umbra or with your Warframes. You could change everything, increase their health, increase their armor, increase their shield. the efficiency of how fast they can uh, cast their abilities. Actually, I just realized what I could do to change this. And I'm an idiot for not thinking about doing it. Okay. I'm gonna go to a relay. So later in the game, you can actually get this little testing room to test out your abilities and your mods and all that. I think it's called the Simulacrum, but I remember I got it on the PS4. You still with me, Dark Moon, or did you leave? Not that I'll know if you left because you won't answer. Where the hell am I? I don't remember this place being red. Like, at all.
Be careful out there, too.
Oh my. Ooh. Okay, something is very wrong here. Where's the elevators? To go from point A to point B upstairs. Okay, they're right here. This is not how it looks on the Switch version. This is a totally different room. Okay, here it is. Okay, good. Simulacrum. Woo! Okay. So this is the simulation room. And you can even change your appearance, or change your gear and everything. You can just test stuff out. Very cool room to go. Okay, we're going to test a Warframe out that highly recommended to beginner players when you start off, because you can actually go you can actually get this Warframe pretty easily. Whoa, hold the hell up. That is a cool skin. Oh, I so am getting that on the Switch version. Blade of the Lotus skin for Rhino. It's very shiny. Okay, anyway, back to where we were. Alright, so this is what Rhino will look like by itself. He will be exactly this color and exactly this style. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rock him out. Alright. Let's see here. I'm trying to find a better weapon that you can... Oh! I think you can start off with that. I thing. Wait, no. No, it was different. It was either that or the bow. Yeah, it was the bow, so I want to go get my bow prime out. Okay. Sadly can't get the normal bow stance. Or bow skin. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So, I got everything I need to prepare. Whoa, crap. Okay. Never mind, I'm just gonna go back to Skana. I forgot that that's a really swingy stance. So let's go back to Prism Skana. I'm gonna go ahead and equip some guns too. We'll just use Brayton. And I don't even have a Lado. That's fine. I'll just use Lex. Oh my god. When did these skins come out? These look freaking dope as hell. Huh. That's cool. Okay, so we'll just stick with this. Alright. Now that we have our weapons. Okay, I know I immediately went from comparing this to Trove to tutorializing new players on how to figure if your stuff's good or not. And I'm probably doing it very shittily. This is my first time, so please don't judge harshly. Whoa, that was fast. Okay. So once you gain access to the simulacrum, you can pretty much add any of the enemies that you have currently scanned fully. Which, as you can see, I really did not do much. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, I don't really have much of these guys. Apparently I did have some, though, so that's nice. Oh, clear. Okay. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and... Can I not? Okay, there we go. Jeez. I wanted to get rid of the chat. Simulate. There we go. Okay, so me in particular, I'm more of a melee user. And wow, I failed that. Oh, okay, hold up. These are like level 60 enemies. What the hell? Okay. Try that again. So this time we're not going to do them. We're going to do We're gonna do these guys, I guess. I'm gonna do invincibility. Simulate. They definitely added a lot of differences to this. So basically at this point what you would do is you would test to see if your mods work correctly, like you wanted the toxicity to hit him. Or if you just think it does enough damage. So we're going to go ahead and buff them up to level 20. And then simulate. So I'm going to let them wear out my armor real quick. Okay. So, basically, what this entire little area is, it's basically when you scan enemies... What was that? Translocator. Once you scan enemies, you can put them in here and test out your abilities and weapons. Bratton's good. Vex is good. Skana Prisma is good. And then once you're done with that, you go back up here, and if you've scanned enough, you can restart it with a different Warframe, different whatever. So there's basically a huge test room, and I think the only way to unlock it is you gotta do this guy's quests. Give me a second. I gotta go back to him. I have yet to do this on the Switch, so I gotta do it on there too. Okay. So you go to this guy. He's gonna pop up here in a second.
Explore the sanctuary for new knowledge.
Pops up like a freaking jump scare. And then you talk to him.
I see we are of like mind. The sanctuary will be your project too.
Now, he's going to originally talk to you and ask you, do you want to help him? And you should say yes. And then he'll give you this equipment where you basically trap enemies and scan them. And you'll get points for doing so if there's something that he needs. And then what you do with those points is you go here to offerings.
These can make you an even stronger hunter.
As soon as he goes away. And you could buy specific mods for him, from him. Like that one. Damn. That's a good mod to have. Or you could buy something like this, which I want to get because it has Frame Fighter in it, which is a new game, mini game that they included. I just hate that this is the only way you can get it. But basically, you want to get this first, the Simulcom Access Key. It'll give you access to the Simulcom,
Must be earned, Tenno.
and you could face basically hologram versions of what you've scanned. Now let's leave the relay. Going back to my orbiter.
Operator, you have returned.
Oh,
These equations will continue to be a jumble of nothing until...
cool. Alright, so pretty much that's how you would work with your weapons, your armor, your character, and your and your mods in general. You go here, go to upgrade, see what you like, put it on. If you don't like it at the end, you don't need it. And you don't necessarily have to go to that room to test it out either. You could just go to a weak planet and test it out from there. Either a weak planet or a planet that you are already currently at. And for the Warframe, I recommend, for everyone who starts out, is Rhino. Granted, you have to go farm for him, and you have to get his ingredients, but I really wish he was a starter Warframe, because he is like the perfect starter frame for, in my opinion, just because of what he does. He gives you a lot of leniency because of his Iron Skin ability, and he's just a DPS tank, all in all. But yeah, now back to the whole topic of Trove versus Warframe. I honestly have to say, Trove was great. It was a fun game. But when it comes to the details of everything that Trove currently has, Warframe does it better. Warframe has better characters, has better... definitely has better story, clearly. Granted, and that's the best part about this game compared to Trove. These games both started off with no story. All you knew from Warframe is that you were captured originally and brought free. And now you're just going through planets to destroy things and make a peaceful world. And on Trove, Sun Goddess got fucked over by Moon Goddess. That's all you know. But eventually Warframe actually made a story, and there's a huge chunk of story and lore on Warframe compared to Trove. Combat, Warframe's definitely better on that. Variety, Warframe's definitely better on that. And progression, Warframe's definitely better on that. Literally, you could stick with the original stuff that you are defaulted with, and you could still be a badass all the way to the end of the game. With Trove, you have to replace it, and that's what really sucks. Now, another topic is the store. So, oh my god, that is awesome. Okay, sorry, back to, I'm just now seeing the more up-to-date store. The Switch is not up-to-date at all. Not with half this, but anyway. Platinum versus Flux. Flux you can get in the game, no problem. It's a free currency to grab. But it's too universal. You pretty much need Flux for literally everything. Now granted, the same thing could be said about Platinum in the game. Platinum is not something you can get during gameplay. You have to buy with real money. But the issue with that is, everything in this game, aside from cosmetics, and that's also kind of limited because you can get helmets and stuff by playing the game during alerts. But when it comes to like skins and other stuff like that, like bobbleheads, silly cosmetics that you really don't need in the game, that's basically what Platinum really is there for. Now for the ill patient, you're going to use Platinum a lot because in the game, you craft things. In fact, this character that I have right now, Rhino, you have to craft. You have to craft his helmet, his whole systems, his body, and then you can craft him entirely after that. Grand totally, that will take about 4 days in total to craft. Now, for those who are ill patient like I am, you want to rush these things. Rushing it takes Platinum. To completely rush a Warframe is 50 Platinum, which I don't even know what the equivalent of that in a dollar is. But I don't even think that's a whole dollar. And that's basically pretty much it. The same thing can be said about weapons. When you craft them, you can rush them. That's pretty much it. You buy cosmetics, you can rush your crafting, or if you don't even want to go farm for the sources, you could buy the Prime Access Pack, which will give you everything that currently popped up for the Prime, which Prime, by the way, is like legendary versions of already existing items. That's typically how I see it. They're very useful compared to the original. They do have differences compared to the original, which makes them a must-have if you currently like that character you're playing with. But other stuff like that, you can buy weapons up front. So say I really want to get this weapon, but I don't want to go craft it because I need a clan for that first off, and I need to have it done in the Biolab dojo room. No problem. It's 150 platinum to get all of that, but not only do you get that, you also get an inventory slot and an installed catalyst. What catalysts do in this game is they basically double your mod space. So you already get a full modded weapon for your play, or for your pleasure to play around with, and you get an inventory slot. So if you end up not liking this weapon and you delete it, you have a free inventory slot to put whatever else you want to put into. That's another weakness this game does have, is it has slots. So like, oh no, that's not where you go to check it out. It's like, check right here. Go to equipment, go to your inventory. Let's browse Warframe. These are all my Warframes I currently have. Every Warframe that I've bought completely, which some of them actually I have bought, like the Prime Access ones, or Gara, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. They will come with an empty slot. I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 empty slots to put new Warframes in, or old Warframes, because I've already maxed all these ones out. Now, if I were to delete any of these ones, I would get all the empty slots that these currently are filling up. But normally you'd have to buy slots if you don't purposely buy something whole. You're stuck with a very limited slot. I think you only get 2 slots. And then after that you progress. Same thing for weapons. I have a literal crap ton of weapons, so I have plenty of slots for those. I think Sentinel, yeah, Sentinel you need slots for too. But stuff like appearances, you don't need slots for. You don't need slots for arcanes, nor focuses, nor gear, keys, resources. Resources are unlimited, depending on how much you want to collect. They are very unlimited. Archwing stuff. I don't really mess with the archwings because I think it's very, I don't want to say lazy. It's just not my type of combat. It's very weird feeling and nauseating to me, so I do not do archwings, but you would need slots for these as well. Amps, I have no idea what those are. Apparently I don't have any, so I guess that would be a good reason why I don't know them. And then of course your miscellaneous, which are infinite as well. So literally all you gotta focus is weapon and Warframe slots. And that's about it. Because Sentinel are these little creatures that you get, basically allies in Trove. And they could be, you really only need one at this point. You don't really need any more, unless you want a shotgun user, then you use a shotgun user. But other than that, you would just need one. Because you can now universally put any of the other mods, so like Vacuum, which is a mod only, which originally was a mod only for Carrier. You can now put it on any of your Sentinels. And really, you could just probably find someone that has a Carrier, and they can give you that mod for free, because I think you can only get that if you had the Carrier mod. Or at least I haven't found one on the Switch version until I bought Carrier. But that's pretty much it. And you don't even have to buy the Sentinels either. You can also craft the Sentinels. Same as Primes, you can craft the Primes. You just gotta go find them first. Generally, normal Warframes, you get them their parts from like bosses on the planets. And that's really about it. What is this? Oh, okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. In verdict, in my opinion, Warframe is a much better game than Trove. Sadly, Trove is shutting down. I hate that because it was a good game. It was a kiddie version of Warframe to me. And it was a good game nonetheless. But Warframe definitely is the top dog in these two game differences. And Warframe I will continue to love no matter what. And if you guys have a Switch and you have Warframe on there, and you want to friend me and play with me, my name on there is ShanoDocs, basically my YouTube name, but just that part of the name. No underscore the underscore dwarf. It's just ShanoDocs. So if you want to be friends with me on there, friend me on the game, and I will play with you on there because I definitely need some partners in that game. Unless they allow console migration anytime soon, then I can happily play by myself. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be the end of my video. If you guys want any more info on Warframe, let me know in the comments below, because I highly recommend this game. It is such a fun, free-to-play game. The currency in this game really isn't necessary. It's just if you are ill-patient and just want to get things up front, then that's why you would spend it. But for now, I'm going to go play on my Switch version and try to get caught up on my PS4 version, which is going to take a long time. But it's going to be fun trying to get there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.